Welcome. This is Stories of Faith on Catholic Television. This morning we're going to be sharing stories about how men struggle when they are in problems and the way not to go, when you have issues. So we're going to be sharing because a lot of things to be drawn from them, a lot of lessons to be drawn from them. Having said that, we're going to first take the recorded testimonies. My name is Brother Nnamdi Obiechina, and with me in the studio
it's Wana Jane Abodoya. Welcome again to Stories of Faith. Of course, this is where we build your faith. We'll inspire you with recorded testimony of how the saints were able to persevere, put in their effort, trust in the Lord, and at the end of the day, they emerge people that we can look up to and follow for our faith. We're going to be taking St. Conrad, C-O-N-R-A-D, Conrad of Italy. Who was this person? Born into a noble family at a very young age. He married a young person too that was born into a noble family. He said that during his spare time, he likes to go hunting, hunt, H-U-N-T, hunting. He likes to go for games. So on a particular day, he was hunting within his area, his district, we would like to say. Then he now instructed his attendants to set the place ablaze. And for hunters, we know that for some of these hunters, what they do is that when they set the bush or forest ablaze, it is when they are able to have a quick catch. Because there is no animal that would like to stay inside the fire. So whenever they see the fire coming on, they just run out. Then they are able to capture them. So this is what he did. But beyond his expectation, that fire went beyond where he was expecting. So because of that fear, he ran away. And it was said that that fire raised down so many other places and people's property. So what did he do? He ran away
for fear of being arrested and, of course, given the due punishment. And the people of the town still went ahead. They arrested an innocent person. Is this what do we find this around this our time, this era? Where one person will commit a crime, another person will go in for it. And that person who goes in for it is not even in any way related to that person.
Exactly.
This was what they did. Now, the person pleaded being innocent, and they said, no, we are not sure you are innocent of this crime. They convicted the person, and he was being condemned to death. And it was said that when they were leading him to where they were going to execute him, take his life for what he didn't do, this person, Conrad now, came back to the place. And as he was watching that young man be led away, his heart was tugged. And there was this guilt within him. And he said, I can't let this man die for what he did not know. So publicly, openly, he spoke up and said, no, I was the one who did that. You can imagine. So how well do you do when you find out that you were wrong and you come back to say no, to own up? Is that not what they say, that when you own up, at the end of the day, a lot of things will be, removed, or the punishment that is supposed to come. For example, when you want to beat a child and the child says, yes, I was the one who took this meat. You, for that child being truthful, being honest, you will calm down. So that was what they did. They let that other young man go. And for this person, the comrade, what they did was that, because, of course, he had a lot of properties because he was from a very noble family that was well known. What they did in place was that they seized all his properties and his life was spared. Afterwards, because he was married afterwards, him and his wife agreed to lead separate life. So he went into the order of Franciscan hermits, and the wife went into the order of Poor Clares. So they were living separate life, religious life. So it was said that his holiness, his separation. Of course, we know that being holy is being totally separated. That's what holiness means, totally separated. So his separation, holiness, piety, because he spent a lot of time before the Blessed Sacrament. This really drew the people of the town to him, and there were a lot of, testimonies being recorded for the gift of healings that he had. So he now felt at the time that all these visitors were disturbing his solitude. So he went into another enclave. a place where he was able to live his life for 36 additional years. Notable miracles were recorded in his name. And it was even said that during the famine in their land at a particular time, that when people come to visit him, he would give them fresh, soft, hot bread, just the way Abudoya likes it. And they said that this bread was from angels. But one of the things that was very notable concerning the miracles of healing was that for people who were besieged with this anemia, that he would pray for them, they get healed. No matter the state or the level of that particular anemia illness or sickness, if you like. So that was how, at the end of the day, he lived his life quietly. He died praying before the crucifix. That was how he died. And February 19th is his feast day. The same thing with Saint Bellina. February 19th are their feast days. So what can you draw from this person, Saint Conrad? You can always correct your wrongs. Especially when you know that that action is going to hurt another person.
Exactly.
Because first of all, it hurts you more. But again, it hurts the innocent person most. And when you do that, whatever thing that comes with it, whether you are now being punished, you will feel this sense of fulfillment that you have not implicated anybody wrongly. So if you're watching, if there is something that you know that you have done and an innocent person is suffering, please, you can right that wrong.
Step out courageously and own up to your problems and your mistakes. Tell people, I was the one. Just like that man was very courageous.
Yes.
He was really courageous. And then he gave up everything he had and decided to go serve God. He had a healthy conscience. That was a very beautiful one. And it was a mistake. He didn't plan to do what the fire eventually did by entering into people's properties and destroying it. All right. At this point, we're going to share testimony of
how you should not go to some places to seek for solution. Simply trust in the Lord.
Now, it was Reverend Father Ede who was during his adoration days, he was doing prayer section, and then he was anointing people and praying over them one by one while they were on the queue, on the line. So a particular lady, Father Ede came as he was passing. He prayed for the person at the left, crossed her, and prayed for the person at the right, and continued. So when he came back, still laying hands on people, he got to and he passed her again. Father said, and the young lady said, Father, I am here. Please pray for me too. Minister to me. Father turned to him and said, do you want me to minister to you? He said, yes. He said, what is your problem? He said that she had a 9-year-old son who was still crawling, that have not started walking, that the father should pray that God should heal the child. Father called intercessors around and said, join this woman, carry the child. You should carry the child and go to a nearby stream and then birth the child there. And then you people should come back and let me know what happened. And as soon as they got to the nearby stream, and as they pour water on the head of that child, the child turned into a python, woo, 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 and then entered into the river and disappeared. And the woman was shouting. They now asked the woman, how did you get the child? And the woman said she had to visit strange native doctor, and they did whatever they could and gave to her, and she ate. That was how that child came. But it was a gift that come from the water world, and terrible things, they put inside of her. And the woman was breastfeeding python, packing, feces of python, thinking it was a child. Now, why are we sharing this testimony? We're sharing it because we want people to understand that when you go to wrong places, you can get wrong miracles. like that woman did. Father Eden knew that that woman was asking for something. He didn't want to pray for her until the woman insisted. He said, okay, go and do so thing. And that happened. The woman, how did you get your child? He now mentioned, because she was looking for fruit of the womb, so she had to go to places, they gave different kinds of things, and that eventually that happened that way. That was how the woman now had no child anymore. Well, I guess it was then that a real prayer was done for her. Dear friends, are you looking for fruit of the womb? Are you jumping from one place to another? Are you even looking for money and then you are jumping from one place to another? These days we hear that they call them miracle money. They do the stuff they call okite. Somebody will go and do all manner of strange things. Thank God, a lot of things are rising up. Even government is rising up against such obnoxious things in the society. You now find a way people go to kill other human beings. You can just a lady, take her off the road and then slaughter her and then cut her body parts and then use it for whatever thing. It's really terrible and dangerous. If you're listening to us and you are involved with such now, or you are thinking of it, you better repent and get out of that right now. And God will bless you.
And when it comes to the fruit of the womb, Exodus 23:26 says, none shall be barren in the land.
Yes.
So seek out God's word to follow up with whatever it is that challenges you. Again, if you look at the Bible, Psalm 118 verse 18 and Psalm 135 verse 18, these two passages both says that those who patronize idols will become like them. So don't be surprised. You got it from the stream or from a strange place, it will still go back there. And when you patronize these dead things that are idols, eventually death will come. Because nobody who goes to a deity doesn't die, whether physically or spiritually. Please do take note.
But why is it like that? Because there is death.
You must find that in deity. Definitely, you must find that in deity.
Oh.
We go on a quick break now. When we return, Stories of Faith continues.
Yes. Stories of Faith on Catholic Television. Another testimony we have this morning to share with you is about a young woman who was also looking for fruit of the womb. She has gone to different hospitals and all of that. She felt that nothing much was happening and she was beginning to have pressures even from the husband's place and all that. So she decided to get it by all means. So a neighbor of hers and her friend she confided in took her to somewhere. And when she got there, she knew that that place could not be trusted and that place was a wrong environment. But because she was desperate, let it be that people know her to be a mother, that she was not a barren woman, trying to run away from that word barrenness. And then they did all that they did in form of prayer, and they gave her something they call holy water. Of course, anything that the Lord is doing in the house of God, Satan will always bring counterfeit. Yes, in the Catholic Church, when a priest prays over holy water, and then it turns to holy water, it turns to a sacramental. You can use it for prayer. You can use it even for deliverance. But this particular place, it is not the Catholic Church. It is not the church. So it was a place they call prayer house. But this prayer house is something that is not really a prayer house, but a demonic place in disguise. So finally, the lady was given something they call holy water to drink. They gave her that to drink by 12 midnight. on the dot, she would drink the water. So she got home, kept it, and was waiting for 12 midnight. She refused to go to bed. And, so she sat in the parlor watching TV and waiting for 12 midnight. Somehow, by God's grace, she slept off sitting down in that parlor and slept till about 6 a.m. in the morning. So when she woke up and looked at the watch, she shouted, got up, ran to the holy water to see if she could take it. On getting there, it was a white bottle, and then looked at it. Lo and behold, it was snake that is inside the bottle. She shouted, and people gathered that early morning to see the so-called holy water given to her. If she had taken it by 12 midnight, by that morning, the snake would have resettled in her stomach, and they say she was pregnant and all that. So friends, why are we sharing this? We are sharing it because we want people to understand that you cannot get something from wrong sources and expect it to be good. A tree bears the fruit of what it is, what the fruit has that it gives. You cannot give what you don't have. So when you go to wrong places, no matter what you do, if you like, let them give you such negative thing, and you now say you're exercising faith, you now go and pray before you take it, but you know that place is a wrong place, you are going to get your hands burnt. You are going to get yourself attached to Satan, and they might deal with you. Why not wait on God? Why not do the kind of prayers? Some people, when they ask you to even fast, you don't want to fast. You are looking for somewhere that you will pay some people, they will do fasting for you. In some of these places, they will say, pay somebody and they will fast for you. And then the person will bring out money and give them, thinking that, no, if it is God of heaven, if you need to fast, you need to fast. If you need to pray, you need to pray. Yes, you might need somebody who has stronger spiritual strength or gift than you to pray with you. But whether you are going to pray, you need to pray. Whether you're going to fast, you need to fast. Learn not to leave the church seeking solution outside. Jane.
Okay, following up with that, for you that is giving advice to someone, what kind of advice do you give to someone when the person is besieged with a particular challenge? Because whether we accept it or not, whenever we're going through challenges, we become very vulnerable. Just like they would say that a drowning man will hold on to a straw. So it is what you tell that person at that point, because the person is vulnerable and also desperate. The person will take it. So let's be mindful the kind of advice that we give to people. And again, Isaiah 43 verse 26, God says, remind me of my word. Come, let us reason together. Tell me, give me reason while I should answer you. Simply for you that is going through something, you will tell him that you said none shall be barren in the land. You will tell him that children come to you, come from you as gift. These are all God's words. So you I will not want to use that word challenge. So you tell him, he said, come, remind me of my word and give me a reason why I should answer you. His word is there. He's already said it. So that is the reason. And because he said that children, we meet with the enemy at the gate. Of course, you have to have children for you to be able to solve a lot of things for you. If God has desired that you go through the marital union. And for those of us that are thinking, oh, this holy water here and there that Catholics are doing and all that. One of the passages I can give to you from the Holy Bible, because one of the things we do in this program is that we enjoy you to always keep your Bible beside you, according to the people in Acts 17:11, just so that you see that whatever we do here follows with what is there. When you go to 2 Kings chapter 2, verses 19 to 21, you will see the real testament of blessing the waters. That is one of the passages that the priests, they know and they use to support that blessing of the holy water. I hope that you've been able to get something. And again, I'm going to encourage you with this word. Psalm 102 verse 13. It said, the time has come. Arise, O Lord, be merciful unto Zion. And he said, yea, the time to favor Zion has come. That's the
The
encouragement.
time to favor Zion has come. And I want to ask a question. In all of these testimonies we've shared about fruit of the womb, I found out that their husbands were nowhere to be found. The onus to find a child is thrown on the woman. She begins to go from one place to another. I'm sure if their husbands were part and parcel of this thing and are supporting them, there are places they will not go. There are things they will not do. But when the man thinks it is her problem, then the woman begins to take, under confusion, she can now take one good, bad, or some obnoxious, and it's just trying to make that ends meet. So please, if you're a spouse, you're a couple, and then you're waiting on God for fruit of the womb, it is important that both of you join your hands together to pray. Because when you do, God will answer you. I'm talking out of experience. I had that challenge after wedding, from time to months and months and months and months, every month. When the woman saw her menses, she would just get moody and all of that. And it kept happening and happening. So we had to take all the medical tests that was required. And finally, a consultant came up with a diagnosis that my wife had a transverse womb. They use the word transverse. I am not a medical person, so I don't even know what it means, but that she had a transverse womb. And then she was not going to take in until operation was conducted. So we booked for cesarean section for that. Now, but I came back that same day. I called Mrs. Sokwajino, who is also a member of our prayer group, charismatic prayer group in Area 3 Catholic Church. And then Mrs. Sokwajino says, Nnamdi, that is doctor's report. Have you obtained spiritual report? It now dawned on me. I have not really done what I should do, as in prayers. So I decided to suspend the operation so that we'll go into prayers. And then we began to pray and fast. And one of the days, a brother walked up to me and said that he received a message that I was not going to, my wife was not going to have a pregnancy till after 5 years of marriage. I was happy that at least that the thing I was praying for, answers were beginning to come. But when I went into my midnight prayers that day, dawned on me that the brother did not say God said. So I did not say Satan said. So I went into fasting and prayers. God, who is it that have held my wife's womb? Is it Satan or is it you? If you are the one, please convince me. I'll wait. If it's Satan, let us know. So after 3 days, in my dream, I received that Satan has sealed up your wife's womb. I got up, woke my wife up. I told her, this is what I received. So we put on our music and we began to dance. We were dancing because it was not God that sealed her womb. It was Satan. And since it was Satan, there was solution. So after that, we declared a 40 days prayers, 40 days warfare prayers, Then, friends, what happened after will shock you. By the time, the fasting was just 6 to 12, because when you're looking for fruit of the womb, you don't need long fast. It was just 6 to 12 fasting. But, and then we attend mass, and then during consecration, we'll be talking to God about the fruit of the womb. And in the midnight, we'll enter into warfare prayers. And that is what we did for 40 days. And after that 40 days, I asked my wife to go to hospital. She said, how a baby now? When I'm a woman now, if I'm pregnant, I will know. I say, go to the hospital. And she obeyed, went to the hospital, and confirmed that she was two weeks pregnant. Once again, confirmed again, she was 2 weeks pregnant, and that was it. Waited. And that was how my son came. And after that, while she was still breastfeeding, my daughter came in. She became pregnant again. The same woman who could not take in was now taken in, even when, because breastfeeding was supposed to serve as birth control in itself. But even as she had become super fertile, after the prayers, that no power, including the transverse womb they talked about, had to decide. There was no cesarean section again. There was no operation. And now, as I'm talking to you, we have 2 boys, we have 2 girls. They are 4 in number. They are still waiting for us for the operation. Dear friends, there is nothing God cannot do. My advice is that while you're looking for the fruit of the womb, you need to take all the medical tests, find out what is, because so many things are happening that are keeping people from getting this. Might be one infection or the other, and something that can be corrected medically. So when you have done that medical checkups and then you come up with your analysis and all that, please, while you're doing that, you now enter into prayers. Before you know it, God will bless you and your family. And then when you are doing that prayer, don't forget, if you're a Catholic, the Lord has made available so much for us. My advice will be that first, before you start the prayer, please go for confession. When you are done with confession, then you can now get to start your prayers. And as you are doing your prayer, don't forget to visit Blessed Sacrament. And because Jesus is life in the Blessed Sacraments, as you talk to God, the Lord himself will hear you and bless you. Just as we have testimony today in my family, you will have testimony also.
And again, while you are there doing your prayers, try to keep your heart clean. When I mean keep your heart clean, this thing about forgiveness, because if there is still unforgiveness with you, you may just be blocking the chances of the good news entering you. Because what unforgiveness does is that at the end of the day, there are things that are supposed to come in, but they cannot come in. So those things are shut out. It's just like for a house now, when you need to bring in good things, but because that place is occupied with a lot of things that you do not know, or you do not have, or you don't need. Yeah. So those things, you are not able to bring them in. It is not a walk in the park. So make effort. The cluster, people use the word cluster and people use the word cutter. So what it means is that remove that which you do not need, so that that which you need will come in. You are going to struggle with it, but what are you going to do? Know that if you let go, you will be in a better place. And this thing of the infertility, even medically, it is said that it is a shared problem. 40 from man, 40 from woman, and the other 20% is unknown. So when somebody is unable, or when a woman is unable to take in, don't just feel, oh, it's the fault of the woman, or it's the fault of the man. 2 of you work it out together. After all, he said, Amos 3:3, how can 2 work together if they do not agree?
Now, Amos 3:3, we're talking about agreement prayers. And for you to have proper agreement prayers, friends, you need to make sure that there is no quarrel or anger, unforgiveness between you and your husband, between you and your wife. And then if you have anything, settle it out first before you start the prayers. That is at the point you're going to do it, be doing agreement prayers. And heaven recognized that. He said, where 2 or 3 come together in my name, I am there in their midst, because 2 of you are together in agreement, coming to God. Thank you so very much. I hope you have learned something. My name is Brother Nnamdi Obiechina, and
I am Eswana Jane Avodoya. Keep tuning in, Stories of Faith, and keep watching Catholic Television, CTV.
thank you.